A male whale and a female whale were swimming off the coast of Japan when they noticed a whaling ship. The male whale recognized it as the same ship that had harpooned his father many years earlier. He said to the female whale, "Let's both swim under the ship and blow out of our air holes at the same time, and it should cause the ship to turn over and sink." They tried it, and sure enough, the ship turned over and quickly sank. Soon, however, the whales realized the sailors had jumped overboard and were swimming to the safety of shore. The male was enraged that they were going to get away and told the female, "Let's swim after them and gobble them up before they reach the shore." At this point, he realized the female was becoming reluctant to follow him. "Look," she said, "I went along with the blowjob, but I absolutely refuse to swallow the semen." Son: "Daddy, I fell in love and want to date this awesome girl." Father: "That's great, son. Who is she?" Son: "It's Sandra, the neighbor's daughter." Father: "Oh, I wish you hadn't said that. I have to tell you something, son, but you must promise not to tell your mother. Sandra is actually your sister." The boy is naturally bummed out, but a couple of months later. Son: "Daddy, I fell in love again, and she is even hotter." Father: "That's great, son. Who is she?" Son: "It's Angela, the other neighbor's daughter." Father: "Oh, I wish you hadn't said that. Angela is also your sister." This went on a few more times, and finally the son was so mad, he went straight to his mother crying. Son: "Mom, I am so mad at Dad. I fell in love with 6 girls, and I can't date any of them because Dad is their father." The mother hugs him affectionately and says, "You can date whoever you want. He isn't your father." A driver is pulled over after rolling past a stop sign. The police officer asks for their license and registration. The driver complains, "I slowed down, didn't I?" "Well, the sign says stop," said the cop. "This is absurd," the driver replied. The officer then opens the door and pulls the driver out. He starts wailing on the driver with a baton. He asks the driver, "Now, do you want me to slow down or do you want me to stop?" My wife said we could each have 3 hall passes. She picked Henry Cavill, Jason Momoa, and Matt Damon. But then she got mad at me for my picks. Apparently her sister, our kid's kindergarten teacher, and Kelsey in the marketing department were the wrong answers. A woman was in bed with her lover when she heard her husband opening the front door. In a panic, she told her lover, "Hurry, stand in the corner. Don't move until I tell you to. Just shut your eyes and pretend you're a statue." At the moment, her husband walked into the room. "What's this, honey?" he asked. "Oh, it's just a statue," she replied nonchalantly. "The Smiths bought one for their bedroom. I liked it so much, I got one for us, too." They went to sleep, and then around 3 o'clock in the morning, the husband got out of bed, went to the kitchen, and came back with a sandwich and a glass of milk. "Here," he said to the statue, "eat something. I stood like an idiot at the Smiths' for 3 days, and nobody offered me so much as a glass of water. Call me a racist if you want, but south of the border is a sea of violence, corruption, and stupidity I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. I just thank my lucky stars I live in Canada." The old man said, "I'll tell you my secret. I've been married for 75 years. I promised my wife when we got married that when we quarrel, the loser has to walk for 5 kilometers. So I've been walking 5 kilometers every day for past 75 years. Everyone applauded and asked again, "But how come your wife is very healthy as well?" The old man answered, "That is another secret. For 75 years, every single day, she has been following me to make sure I really walk the full 5 kilometers. My 7-year-old son came in from school today and asked me, "Dad, what kind of mouse can walk on 2 legs?" I don't know," I replied. "Mickey Mouse." He replied, laughing, "Dad, what kind of duck can walk on 2 legs?" "Donald Duck." I replied, "No, all ducks, you idiot." A man's walking home late at night when he sees a woman in the shadows. $20, she says. He's never been with a prostitute before, but he decides what the hell. They are going at it for a minute when all of a sudden a light flashes on them. It's a policeman. "What's going on here, people?" asks the officer. "I'm making love to my wife," the man answers indignantly. "Oh, I'm sorry," says the cop. "I didn't know." "Well," said the man, "to tell the truth, neither did I until you flashed that light on her face." A couple, both age 76, went to a sex therapist's office. The doctor asked, "What can I do for you?" The man said, "Will you watch us have sexual intercourse?" The doctor looked puzzled, but agreed. When the couple finished, the doctor said, "There's nothing wrong with the way you have intercourse," and charged them $80. This happened several weeks in a row. The couple would make an appointment, have intercourse with no problems, pay the doctor, then leave. Finally, the doctor asked, "Just exactly what are you trying to find out?" The old man said, "We're not trying to find out anything. She's married, and we can't go to her house. I'm married, and we can't go to my house. The Holiday Inn charges $120. The Hilton charges $150. We do it here for $80, and I get $64 back from my health plan." A soldier ran up to a nun. Out of breath, he asked, "Please, may I hide under your skirt? I'll explain later." The nun agreed. A moment later, 2 military police ran up and asked, "Sister, have you seen a soldier?" The nun replied, "He went that way." After the MPs ran off, the soldier crawled out from under her skirt and said, "I can't thank you enough, sister. You see, I don't want to go to Iraq." The nun said, "I understand completely." The soldier added, "I hope I'm not rude, but you have a great pair of legs." The nun replied, "If you had looked a little higher, you would have seen a great pair of balls. I don't want to go to Iraq either." My girlfriend dressed up as a policewoman and told me I was under arrest on suspicion of being good in bed. After 2 minutes, all charges were dropped due to a lack of evidence.